Even though we all know that magic isn't real, it doesn't deter us from enjoying it any less. Quite on the contrary, we watch magic tricks to try and see if we can outsmart the magician and figure out the secrets with which he is trying to fool us. Well, today you are in luck because we are about to reveal the secrets of the 5 greatest magic tricks in the world. So let's get started. Floating Man. Popular streets in big cities often attract a bunch of street performers who are eager to showcase their talent and hopefully even make some cash off of the generous audience. It is a hard job, however, and most of these performers are often ignored by the passing audience who are too busy to be bothered. But some of these street performances are so unique that they stop people dead in their tracks. One such performance is that of the levitating man, where a man is seen levitating with nothing but the apparent power of his mind. These performers are often dressed in brightly colored clothing to stand out from the crowd and attract attention. But what is the secret of these levitating people? How are they able to defy the laws of gravity? Well, the secret to this trick is actually pretty simple. You see, these performers use a special arrangement of steel rods and plates to support their body weight and give the illusion of floating midair. This special arrangement mainly consists of 3 parts, them being a seat for the performer to sit on, a shaft which passes down the baggy clothing of the performer, and finally, the base plate which supports the entire act and is cleverly hidden under an unsuspecting rug. The same illusion is also sometimes performed with 2 people, one on the bottom holding a rod up in the air, and another floating on top holding the top of the same rod. Penn and Teller's truck trick. Penn and Teller are the stars of the hit magic TV show Fool Us. This prominent magic duo have been in the magic game for a very long time, and they have invented and also revealed a large number of their magic tricks over the years for the sole purpose of amusing their audience. In the year 1990, they really kicked things up a notch when they decided that one half of this magic duo, Teller, would be run over by an 18-wheel tractor-trailer with Penn in the driving seat. And they really got the people's hearts pounding when they did just that. But instead of this trick coming to a tragic conclusion with Teller ending up in a hospital, he got up unscathed and dusted himself off as if nothing had happened. So, what is their secret? How did they do this? Well, the secret of this truck trick lies in the trick truck. The gigantic truck is made lopsided beforehand by loading it with thousands of pounds of stage weight, wheel weights, and concrete on one side of the truck, shifting its center of gravity away from Teller. Oh, and they also use fake foam tires so that Teller doesn't get injured or bruised by the hard rubber tires of the actual trailer truck. David Blaines' needle and arm. David Blaine is one of the most recognizable magicians these days. He is often seen hanging out with high-profile celebrities and blowing their minds with some insane magic tricks. One such absurd trick he performed was for Ricky Gervais, who is a popular comedian and the original creator of the White House documentary, The Office. Blaine shocked the comedian when he brought out a huge needle and started pushing it right through his right arm. After some time, the needle started to poke out from the other side of his arm. He then asked Ricky to help him in getting the needle out of his arm. Ricky, who was visibly baffled by this whole ordeal, started pulling the needle out. And when he pulled the entire needle out, there was no blood and no signs of injury anywhere on Blaine's arm. After completely blowing away Ricky's mind, Blaine casually walked away as if nothing had happened and he didn't just pass a giant needle through his arm. So, how is this trick done? A special implant on the other side of his arm, maybe? But then, how did the movement of the needle get coordinated so accurately on both sides? The correct solution here is that this is not a trick at all. This trick is actually the result of a medical phenomenon called fistula. A fistula is simply a path of scar tissue that goes right through Blaines' arm. This path allows for the needle to pass through his arm without damage or blood. The use of the fistula to perform these seemingly impossible magic tricks is nothing new. In fact, there have been performers in the past who used fistula or scar tissues to pass actual swords through the bodies. Creating this fistula is not an easy task, however, and it would have required Blaine to repeatedly stab himself with a needle to build the opening and scar tissues necessary for pulling this trick off. This craziness just goes to show that David Blaine is a dedicated artist, and it seems that there are no lengths to which he wouldn't push himself just for the amusement of his audience. And David Blaine, we thank you for that. Walking through the Great Wall of China. David Copperfield blew everyone's mind in the year 1986 when he walked right through the Great Wall of China. Logic tells us that this is impossible. Nobody can actually physically walk through a wall, but then, how did he do it? The solution might be easier than you've expected. You see, the moment Copperfield steps behind the sheets, a switch happens. The shadow we see on the sheets does not belong to him, but rather to his assistant, who is hidden in the unexposed corner and steps into the light right after Copperfield enters the box. The assistant then pretends to penetrate the wall and disappear in it. How does he disappear? Well, he only moves back into an area of the box that isn't illuminated. It is a light effect, since shadows can be manipulated depending on where the light is coming from. He then hides inside the platform, which is hollow. Meanwhile, Copperfield opens a secret door and climbs down into the stairs, which are also hollow. When the stairs are removed, which happens soon after David enters the cage, you can see that the top step is actually under a box. Once he is in, the stairs are removed and transported to the other side of the wall, where they are used once again. This time, all that Copperfield has to do is get out of the stairs into the box once it is covered by sheets. He carefully gets to the other side of the box without throwing a shadow to the sheets, and then pretends to come out of the wall. The illusion is completed. But what about the arms and the face coming out of the wall? That's actually the easiest part of the trick. Pay attention to the assistants holding the sheet. You can't see their arms, can you? Each of them has one arm under the sheet, one holding a pair of fake hands, and the other holding a mask. They press their props against the sheet, creating an illusion of Copperfield trying to come through. Sword stabbing. This impressive trick was performed on the hit TV show Britain's Got Talent, where it completely shocked the audience. The performer, James, was placed on top of a sword by his assistants, who gave him a nice spin and left him there for some time. And then suddenly, James dropped down and the sword passed right through his body, blowing the minds of the audience. Everybody was baffled and could not believe what they just witnessed. The assistants then took him off the sword and he seemed to be completely fine. How could this trick be done in front of a live audience? The secret here is that the magician uses a special equipment which is attached to his back. When the magician is placed on top of the supposedly sharp sword, the sharp edge actually goes into itself. This equipment also has a hole in it, which is where the blunt part of the sword actually goes, levitating the magician in midair. James also wears another special equipment in front of his chest, which is hidden under his shirt. This equipment makes a fake sword pop out of his chest, which creates an illusion of the sword being passed through his chest. Pretty neat stuff, right? If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe and press that bell icon for more amazing videos. Until we see you next time, thank you for watching.